What is going on, football fans? My name is Jaron Horton. I have over a decade of coaching experience across the USFL, the UFL, NFL, SEC, AAF. Man, I've been a lot of places. I've coached a few number one defenses. And in today's video, we're going to be looking at the Birmingham Stallions offense. And we're not just going to be looking at plays and kind of watching and diagnosing. We're really going to take an analytical coaching mind frame. We're going to, like I said, look at the numbers, look at the analytics, and we're also going to look at some plays. We're going to look at some personnel reports. And really, I'm going to tell you exactly what I would tell my defense if we were getting ready to play Birmingham. So in this video, what we've done is we've watched Birmingham's tape. We did a 3-game breakdown, which is what I normally do. And then what I do is I go and look at the most recent game, which would be the 4th game, and I make sure all the numbers align. Okay, so we're looking at really a 3-game breakdown, which in the UFL translates to about, give or take, 180 plays, somewhere around there. You get around 60 plays a game. But we have a good understanding of who they are. And what we're really going to be focusing on today is the base downs, the first and second downs of who Birmingham is on offense. And really what we're going to be understanding is why are they struggling? So without any further ado, let's get into the meat and potatoes of who they are. And we'll see this right now. So this sheet is really the first sheet that I give to my players in our first day of the week, Wednesday meeting if we're playing on Sunday, or whatever the first day is that we are actually meeting on the new opponent. It starts off up here. Who are they? Who do they want to be? And Birmingham, they want to be a run first offense. And that's really out of 11 personnel. Personnel speaks to us this week, right? And what I mean by that, 11 personnel alert run, 10 personnel alert pass. We'll get into the numbers in a little bit, but 11 personnel run at a 79% rate. So anytime they come out in 11 personnel, damn near 8 out of 10 plays is a run. And 10 personnel is a high pass alert. So that it's 73%. So really 7 out of 10 plays in 10 personnel is going to be pass. So that really just right off the bat can tell our defense what to expect. And really for me as a defensive play caller, it really opens everything up and really makes it so I can maybe even put in a different package. Maybe against 10 personnel, I'll play dime. I'll put 6 DBs on the field. And 11 personnel, shoot, I might go base. I might put big people on the field just to kind of see what Birmingham does. Are they going to counter and now throw the ball more out of 11 personnel where I can go nickel? Or are they just going to keep running their heads against the wall and go try to run the ball against base? It's not a high volume of formation variety. It's mainly deuce and trips out of 11 personnel, which is just your normal 11 personnel 2x2 and 3x1. A little bit of what I call trip speed or a little nub set 3x1. And then in 10 personnel, you're just really getting doubles, which is 2x2 open, and trio 3x1 open. But there are some things that we were able to find just from really watching film and breaking it down. When the back hops from pistol, 15 times were run, no passes. That is a huge, huge, huge alert. 100 percenters don't happen very often, especially in professional football. And 15 times to 0 is huge. So I'm telling my players, especially the linebackers and safeties, and really D line, when that back hops, I'm playing downhill. I'm going right now. They are a team that really utilizes pullers in the run game, what I call pin pull, which is just stretch with pullers. They like counter, they like power, and a little bit of Y fold and Y insert, more so than like a true split zone where your O line's going one way and then your tight end's coming across to cut the edge. What they like to do is they kick the tackle out and then the tight end inserts inside. We have some third down notes. Don't want to get too much into this. We'll get down to the notes because this is a little bit more important. So another one, jet motion, heavy run alert. 2-minute concepts. We won't get into that. 11 personnel only has 10 drop back passes. All right. 10 drop back passes out of all of the 11 personnel snaps, which I believe was 60 something. 6 out of 10 of those were out of 10 personnel looks. So that means the tight end was kind of split out. He wasn't in the core. And 8 out of these 10 happened in week 4 versus Orlando. So they probably realized this in the first 3 weeks and then kind of tried to self-correct. They didn't really do a great job of it. They still are who they are, but they kind of did a little bit to kind of throw you off the scent. Into these 11 personnel notes right here. All right. It's green. That means it's a heavy tick of run, right? That's what that means for us. Green is run, blue is pass. So 79% on base downs, 44 runs and 12 passes, 80% damn near runs on base downs and 11 personnel. That's huge. All right. And now this one, Y sniffer. When the Y lines up inside the tackle, when he's stacked or inside the tackle, then it's 100% run, 10 runs and no passes. You don't get a whole bunch of 100% runs or 100 percenters in professional football. That's just not something that you see. All right. So this is a reason why this offense is struggling, because they have a lot of tells. I'm telling my players this. I'm sitting there while I'm calling the game. I see Y sniffer. I'm in the headset right now. Hey, run, 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 alert, run. And the guys on the field are echoing it. Tight end in line. That means the tight end is even with the tackle and he's in the core. 11 runs, 0 passes. So there's 22 plays right there, 22 snaps that I know right now, just before they even basically start their cadence, just based on where that tight end is lined up, I know it's a run because they're telling me. They're telling me with their numbers, with their analytics, just from simple film study. All right. And now a little bit of a different one. When they're in a stack and the Y motions in with the Z close, they're trying to cover it up and alert the boot. We're going to see that in the film. All right. And now you can see the deuce, the 2x2 is a 74% run. Trips is even higher, right? 86% run. All right. So these are just things that I'm just seeing just based off film study. And they're easy to see if you have the understanding of football and like the means to see what you're looking at. So now we get to the 10 personnel, which is 4 wide receivers, 1 running back, no tight end. Heavy pass, right? 73% pass on base downs, which is pretty high. 22 passes, 8 runs. Gun near trio, which means it's 4 strong. And just in typical football, 4 strong is an RPO alert. The QB will get that zone read, and then he has 3 receivers over here to get his RPO. 4 strong is a heavy RPO alert. That's just like, I won't say day one install, but that's like pretty early on of things that you learn in football. 4 strong, just hey, RPO. There's a great play that I have with Arnold Tarpley, Trey Tarpley in the 2023 season where New Jersey came out in 4 strong RPO or 4 strong, 12 personnel, gun near, and they run a zone read, and I'm yelling in the headset, RPO, and Tarp triggers on the run, just stops, jumps, gets a pick. Oh, it was awesome. It was one of my favorite plays ever.
Speed guy, a guy affecting the game in the passing game.
They're trying to throw it here, but it's intercepted. It couldn't get past the safety who was down in the box. It's Tarpley. Arnold Trey Tarpley with the pick.
That's what this offense does too, right? They're kind of generic. It's really what they are. They're very generic. Doubles is 2x2 out of 10 personnel. It's 80% pass, and then trio is a little bit more balanced because what we're saying is a gun near trio accounts for 4 of those 5 runs. So really, you're saying that gun far trio is 8 passes and 1 run, but gun near, when it's 4 strong, that's when you're getting the runs. So you can kind of take that for what it's worth. All right, so here we're looking at now, like we said, base downs. This is 11 personnel. It's 1st and 10. So they start in pistol. They hop. Right now, hey, run, 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 run. Everyone should be echoing. Run, 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 run. We know what they're going to do. They're going to run the ball because they hop the back. That's what they do. Okay? So now, we already know what they're doing. St. Louis knows what they're doing. They play downhill. They trigger 32. I think that's A.J. Thomas does a great job. Doesn't get blocked. They force the fumble. I think the ball hits off his knee. But, I mean, shoot, look at this. Look at this picture. There are 5 St. Louis Battlehawk players, and the offensive line is turned around. This is a great picture. They're 5 yards deep in the backfield, man. This is great. Coach Chamberlain's got this defense playing well in St. Louis. And I mean, shoot, look at that. That's a picture that you want to see as a D coordinator. That right there, ball on the ground, shoot. I mean, you can't ask for much more. But I think part of the reason why Birmingham's struggling is like personnel wise. Jordan Thomas is a great tight end, but he is not an inline blocking tight end. He is a vertical outside threat that you throw the ball to. He's not a guy that you want to insert inside and try to be lead blocking or stuff like that. I think that this is a very talented team, but they're not utilizing their personnel very well. Like they're just not. All right, so now you get this motion down. So this could be split zone or you're thinking bootleg. And like we said, they're kind of disguising this formation, right? It starts in this stack, we motion down, and now we're seeing this right here, which is this receiver. This is a condensed split. He's condensed for a reason. He's probably going over to run this bootleg. He's going here. He's running some kind of vertical. He's a vertical. He might be going to the flat or something like that. Just a typical boot flood, right? They convert it or they complete the pass. Cool, good for them. But they're telling you what they're doing based on the formation. Short little motion in to kind of all hide for the bootleg. Once again, we're in 11 personnel, 2x2, and we're getting here. This is a true pass, right? But it's not a drop back pass. This is play action. It's a gimmick kind of right here. They're trying to sell the run, and then you can see 13 right here. He kind of gives a delayed release, and then he goes vertical. Here they don't connect, but it's still not a drop back pass. It's kind of a gimmick play, and they don't connect on this one. But they're giving you this pin pull look. They're trying to sell it. Block back here, block back here, pull the guards. They're trying to sell that pin pull action. And they have the guy, they just don't connect on it, unfortunately for them. All right, so once again, we start in this 10 personnel open look. Or I'm sorry, 11 personnel, like 10 personnel. They motion this guy in, probably either for a fold or something like that. So here they're just running what I call this counter. Just I call counter if they're running away from the tight end and power if they're running to the tight end. Whatever you want to call it. Some people, O-line coaches will probably get mad at me. I just like to keep things simple, but you can get after me in the comments if you really want to. But here you can see 79 kind of looks like he gets his feet caught. I think they're really struggling up front. That's a big issue for them is up front. They're really struggling to block. And that translates in both the run game and the pass game. So 79 is supposed to probably kick out that guy. He's probably supposed to kick this guy out. And he's probably supposed to come in and insert. Or he's supposed to kick out. He might supposed to be lead and he's supposed to kick out. But either way, this needs to hit uphill or downhill. And 79 misses block and it ends up being a busted play. All right, so we can't see it, but Deion Kane is down here. He's down below my camera. And here we're getting play action and we're getting a really big pump fake, another shot, a stutter. It's kind of a gimmick, if you will. So here you can see just a called stutter. This is what they do well. This is what this guy, Deion Kane, is one of the best at in this league, if not the best. Probably him and Hakeem Butler, who's on the opposite sideline. He's somewhere over here, getting vertical and just going, making plays down the field. Deion's great at that. He is outstanding at that. And Matt throws a good deep ball. I know he's no longer with Birmingham, but this is what they do. This is what they need to do more of. They need to just take shots deep to Deion because he's got the speed to take the top off and he catches the ball very well over his shoulder. But even here, you can see Matt's taking a hit. They double over there, and then the tackle comes off onto the edge rusher when now we come off the double and our quarterback gets hit. Yeah, we threw a touchdown, but our quarterback's taking hits. He takes a lot of hits back there. And I know DTR played pretty well for him in week 1, but like if you keep taking those hits, they add up. They really do. So here we're in 11 personnel. We got the Y off. This is just a little zone look. And now that's what we're saying, Y off. He's outside of the tackle. Y sniffer, he would be tucked inside. But here we're getting same thing. Double right here, but we're both coming off of it when we don't need to. And now we both come off of the double and we leave 98 unblocked and he makes a tackle. So like we're having a lot of miscommunication up front on the O-line with Birmingham. And that's a big reason why they're struggling. So right now, tight end in line, run right now. We see a tight end, he's on the ball, run every time. That's what they've showed us. Tight end on the ball, it's a run. We know it right now. It's a run. It's a run. Here, same thing. We have miscommunication. The double should be here to here, here to here. Block out. He's got a hard job. He's got to try to cut him off. Or like that's how we got to do this because he's not going to go there to there. That's just, and we just miscommunicate. He can't help him. He's got to get to here so he can get to here. And that's what happens. Now we get a TFL. We have a lot of miscommunication up front, and that's where it starts because they want, like we said, the very first thing, they want to be a running team. They want to, but they're not. They're not able to right now. So here's this Y fold that we're looking at. They do have the RPO attached. They don't throw it that often, but they have it. So same side, Y fold, and this is kind of what we're talking about. Split zone. He would go down here, and then he would come across and block this guy. He would be here. They'd probably double there, here, here, and then he would go up for steal. But now 81 is going to insert where you could really wash this. He would kick this guy out, and then it would be a one-on-one tackle with 6 in the gap instead of now really all of this mud right here for this guy. And like I said, I think Jordan is a great tight end, but this is not his game. He's not this guy that's going to go into the core and then block somebody. He needs to be split out and be a mismatch. Are you going to cover him with a linebacker? Are you going to cover him with a safety? Well, if you cover him with a linebacker, he's just going to run past him. If you cover him with a safety, then he's just going to big body him. But in this world, that's not his strong suit. So, like, you got to use your personnel. And what I mean by that is in 2023 in Pittsburgh, on defense, we were heavy at safety. So we played 3 safeties and we played a lot of split field safety stuff because we fit it really well. They understood how we wanted to fit it. But then in 2025 with the Showboats, we were really, really deep at corner. So we played a whole bunch of single high. And we were really good we were the #1 pass defense both years. And we did completely different things. So it's all about utilizing your personnel and what they do well. And really Birmingham's struggling with that right now. They have their system, but they're not transforming their system to their players. They're just like, well, this is what we do, so you guys have to do it. And that I feel like is where they're really struggling. So we got a few more plays of this 11 personnel. Here we have a bootleg. So we've got a few more plays of this 11 personnel. Here we have a play action shot called really cross country. But they dump it off because he's probably coming open, but at the same time, Matt's feeling the pressure. He probably can't stand in the pocket to throw it to 13. And then EG makes a great tackle. But like we said, this is a long developing route, and they're struggling to protect Matt, and he's feeling the pressure. Can he wait really to throw it now? Probably not, because I mean he's getting hit back there basically. So long developing route, you got to protect, and they're not doing that very well right now. Back hop. What's that tell us? Back hop and tight end in line. That's a run. That's a for sure run. Yep, there it is. Power. Like we said, 81. Great receiving tight end, but he's not gonna win against a D end that does this for a living, right? So Travis Feeney right here, he's lined up outside, but he feels the block. He jumps inside, makes a tackle. That's just not utilizing your personnel well, in my opinion. Don't have that guy do that. Split him out. Now someone's got to go out there with him. So instead of using him to block, you're using him to take the body away. So you're still getting what you want to get because you're removing someone from the play, but you're not making him do something that he's not good at or that he doesn't excel at. Help him. Help him out. Let him help you by playing in space because that's what he does. All right. Here's a little bit of 11 personnel, but they motion out and it looks like 10 personnel. So we're thinking pass. 11 as 10 is more pass. All right. They just run this mesh. Nice ball from Matt. Great play from Jadon Mickens there to make the first guy miss and get a nice gain on 1st and 10. I would like to see them throw the ball more out of 11 personnel. I would love to see them get this guy involved in the pass game. Why not? You can line him up in line. You can line him up out of the core, but get 81 involved. He's a hell of a player in this league. He's a hell of a player in this league. Get that man involved. So now, once again, 10 as 11. All right, condensed split. He's probably going under. We're getting this mesh, same concept probably. Quarters beater with a mesh, and he's going to the flat. All right, so they're kind of telling you what they're doing by formation, right? There it is. Quarters beater up top, a dig, a post. You got the mesh down here, and the guy to the flat. Once again, they throw the dig. I would like to see a little bit more of this. They've been successful throwing the ball in 11 personnel. I would like to see them do more of this. So now they get into this look, kind of a gun split look, 20 personnel look. This is really what I call Y seam. I call this Oregon. He would get to the flat if there wasn't a blitzer, but then you have a vertical, you have an over, you have another over, and a guy going to the flat. They like to hit this window right here. That's where they want to throw this. If they see single high, then they're going to take their one-on-one right there. But once again, Matt, he's under pressure right now. It's just it's a blitz, yeah. It's a 5-man pressure, but they have 6 guys blocking. There's no excuse to have the D end running right up the A gap unblocked in your quarterback's face. This wasn't intercepted, but it damn sure should have been. But there's no excuse for this up front. And I know AJ said,
I need you to play better.
but like at the same time, you got to tell them how to play better, right? These guys, we got to communicate. He's got to come off, block this guy. He's there. He's got the blitzer. All right, we got 3-on-2 over here. That should never get home. And then it gets tipped maybe. Looks like it's tipped off the head or something like that. But that should have been picked too. All right, so now we're getting into our 10 personnel look. So we're thinking more pass, right? 10 personnel doubles, 2x2. But at the same time, I know that these receivers are good players. Like, don't get me wrong. These are good receivers. I would love to see 81 right here. Not every play, but I would love to see him split out, use his size and make some plays, right? They really like this China concept in 10 personnel, which we're gonna have a smash, a hitch, and a vertical, whether it's a seam, a fade, a seam, or a 7 cut. Sometimes they do it with a bender, but they really like that China concept. And down here, you're getting a control, which is really a sit down by him, and then a high-low concept. They want the safety to jump this one, and they throw it behind him. But here we bounce the ball out to the receiver. So now we got 10 personnel again. We got the receiver down here below my camera. 2nd and 5, same thing. You're getting your China concepts, right? So now, I mean, I assume he maybe should go here, because if he throws it right now, he can probably get that ball in before the corner gets there. But he might be taught, if you see outside leverage in the slot, then throw the slot, because he has this. There's just a little bit of miscommunication. The receiver doesn't look back in time. Matt throws it, he gets hit as he throws, and he throws a pick. So I don't know what the teaching is there for them. Should he throw that hitch? Maybe. Maybe he's told, if you see outside leverage, try to get that seam in there. Like I said, I don't know what the coaching point is. Looking at 10 personnel again. This is that Oregon concept I called earlier, or Y seam. You're getting an over there, and some form of vertical control over here. And then he's going, he's going to the flat this way. So they're running out of China up top. So you're still getting that over. You're getting this over. And then they're running a vertical and a hitch there. And then he's coming across. Like I said, they like to hit this window or this window right here. So, I mean, this right here is a good ball. And it's not caught. You got to help your quarterback out, because look at what the quarterback has to endure on this drop back. So he feels pressure from there. He steps up. That's great. Protects the ball, steps up, and still while he throws the ball, he's getting hit. And I mean, is it a little bit behind the receiver? Yeah, it is. But that you got to catch that, right? And I know Matt got a lot of the blame. He got traded, and the coach was kind of chewing him out a little bit. But shoot, you got to help him out. Here we go once again with the 10 look. They like this route too. Sticks. Just everyone get to the sticks, turn around. Once again, Matt's in rhythm right here. Gets the ball out before the rush. Catch, tackle. Good play for the offense. Here we're getting another 2x2 concept, but it's a little bit different. They're condensed probably for a reason. Either they're going to run like a flat 7 concept, or they're going to run a drive concept. Usually with the drive concept, you're getting like sail over here. So that's what they run. They run the drive with the sail. And then that's what Dion does well, right? Dion does this very well. He gets vertical. He gets on your toes as a DB. Matt throws a great ball. Catch. They don't score here, but that's another deep ball. I would love to see more of that. More of Dion going vertical. I would love to see Thomas on the field getting the ball thrown to him, Jordan Thomas, instead of just being a blocker, which is not utilizing his skill set. Use your players. Don't just be like, this is what we do. Use your players. Now we're getting to a little bit 3x1, gun far 3x1, so we're probably thinking this is a pass, right? So we get the pass right now, just a little inside control. Once again, Matt's under pressure. Can he throw this ball right here? Yeah, he might. He might have been able to if he was able to step up in the pocket and he had a little bit more time. But it works. The route concept works how they want it to. He jumps up on this, and there's a window right here. But now Matt's under pressure. He can't really. I mean, he's already had to come off of his first look. I don't know. That's a tough throw for him off the back foot. He ends up completing it. I don't think he's the problem, in my opinion. I think he's a great quarterback in the UFL. Um, could he throw that ball? Yeah, he could. He's also got two edge rushers like barreling down on him, so we got to protect the quarterback. All right, we're gonna have gun near trio. There's another receiver down here, so you might be getting RPO. This is that 4-strong RPO look that we're gonna look at. Like we said, RPO, here they run it. They run a little bubble down here. Little control route right here. If he triggers, then he can throw this ball right here. But that's a great rally from Orlando for a 0-yard gain. That's a hell of a play by them. Good job by this really this nose tackle to feel this, to feel the bounce. Doesn't make the play, but he strings it out, and now his teammates can come make the play. So 96, he might not be on the stat sheet for a tackle, but that's a hell of a play by him. Now we're looking at the same thing. 4 strong, we're thinking RPO right here. There's another receiver below my camera. You get that RPO arrow. Like we said, here they're sending pressure off the edge, so we have numbers, right? We should get a block. We should get a block, and he should be out the gate. It should be really one-on-one with him. If we can make our blocks, let's hope we can make our blocks. Here we don't make our blocks. Mark Gilbert right here does a hell of a job defeating the block, coming off of it, and really making the tackle, allowing the safety to come help. That's a great. If you like this type of content, please let me know. We're not going to get super into the third down, red zone, other stuff today. We can do that another time if we would like. If you guys like this content, like I said, like, subscribe, follow, do whatever it is. But please just let me know what you like to see. We can do a lot more of this. We can look at other teams' offenses. We can look more at Birmingham when we get a little bit more film on DTR. We can look at teams' defenses. We can do really anything. So just please let me know. Like, comment, subscribe. We'll see you in the next one.